Hi there, this is Lesle Lundall, and I would like to chat to you in this webinar about how to improve your quality of life after injury through a 12-step Hatha Yoga program. So my goal is to show you that it is possible for you to improve your quality of life, creating a life without pain and restriction, by building up that strength and flexibility through this Hatha Yoga program. So if you stay till the end, you'll receive my top 5 poses to do every day to ensure that overall flexibility is an added bonus. So let's jump right in. My name is Lesle Lundall. I'm passionate about quite a few things in my life. One of those are my children. I'm a super mom of 2 teenage girls. They're 5 years apart and they definitely keep me on my toes. Another passion is obviously yoga. I'm a yoga instructor and I teach Hatha Yoga to adults and children. I think I have got a good sense of humor. I definitely believe laughter is the best medicine. And I always try and find the positive in life, always try to find the brighter side of things. Another passion is I love animals. I always just seem to attract all of those homeless little ones that needs love and attention. And I've rescued over 11 pets so far, and my life is definitely so much richer with my fur babies in it. Okay. So let me tell you about the things that I've done right. Okay. I have a spinal injury that I incurred about 30 years ago. And over time, not looking after myself, not really making an effort to heal it and pay attention to it, it started affecting my standard of living, and I drastically needed to change that. So it was a long journey, lots of ups and downs, lots of trials and errors. But through perseverance, I found my passion and I found it in Hatha Yoga. And that program allowed me and gave me the platform to change my life drastically. It was a complete 180-degree change. So, having gone through that process and found the experiences, the benefits in this program, I realized that I needed to share this with people that might be in the same situation that I am. Maybe they might not have had a spinal injury, but they might have had a knee or a shoulder or another type of injury that's limiting their lifestyle. And I realized that I needed to share this so that they could also improve and benefit from this. I started sharing it and I shared it with my clients, and they started experiencing improved flexibility and strength and positive change in their life. So the domino effect happened from there. I realized that if I could teach this and bring this to children at a young age, and we could lay the platform and the basis for them at a young age, they would already have the healthy, strong bodies that even if they would have gone through a fall or a jump or something that could have injured them, their bodies would be strong enough to resist and to um, be able to actually go through the experience and not sit with injuries afterwards and have gone through the experience like I did of having to now go through a process of recovery. So that was the realization and the benefit that I could then share with others around me. Having said that, I've also done a lot of things wrong. I've lost a lot of opportunity because of fear. And like most of us know, fear can be very debilitating in our lives, very controlling and limiting. So my fear was what I had experienced and gained, the knowledge that I gained, would that have any kind of meaningful effect or impact in other people's lives? So fear that it would not, and fear that it would not have a meaning in their life and make a change. And that held me back for a very long time. I have at times regressed in my practice, starting out great with all of the best intentions. I'm positive, I'm going to do this, I'm going to stick to my routine. And then maybe after a week or so, I just allow one little old habit to creep in. And it's just once. And a couple of days later, maybe a second time. And before we know it, few weeks later, we faded out. I'm right back where I started with no lasting improvement, with no lasting results. And also at times completely procrastinated when I realized that I needed help and I was too afraid to actually reach out and ask and admit, I'm stuck here. I actually cannot progress past this point. I need assistance. I need somebody else to help me gain knowledge and maybe move through this plateau or the place that I'm stuck in. So, having had those experiences, and now I have done yoga for 15 years. What were my major discoveries that I made through this process? So there were four major discoveries for me. My first discovery was that I needed to realize and understand was that not all forms of exercises out there was the best fit or meant for me. It might be the latest craze that's hitting the social media, and everybody's getting wonderful results from it. but it wasn't necessarily a good fit for me. And I actually ended up hurting myself more. So I was going 2 steps forward and literally 10 steps back. Another great realization or discovery that I had, the second one, was that I needed a unique program, because I'm still sitting with the injury. I'm still sitting with the ailment and all of the limiting things that my life was now evolving around because of this injury. I couldn't put it apart. I couldn't take it away and say, okay, every Saturday I'm going to be free of these injuries and I could have a normal life. So I needed a unique program that would incorporate this, because I'm still having these injuries and limiting lifestyle. It's still part of me every day. How can I work with this and grow stronger from there? And then that I realized as well that I needed a platform that would now teach me how to become more in touch with my body, how to understand what is my body's limits and range and capabilities. Because if once I can understand that and know what my boundaries and my possibilities are, I would then slowly be able to progress at my pace and not push myself past the point that I'm not ready for, hurting myself in the process. So rather find a platform to understand and learn my body better, and then I could safely work from there and progress to the next level. And then I found, the fourth discovery was, I found this in Hatha Yoga. So it wasn't just that myth that, oh, it's just meant for flexibility. It's just there so I could stretch. I found that Hatha Yoga gave me that platform, that gave me the holistic approach of including all of my ailments and my injuries, giving me a platform where I could safely progress slowly at my pace, but that it could help me heal and improve the effects of the injury and slowly grow stronger at my pace. So, having gone through this process, I discovered this the hard way. And I would like you to get the shortcut. I want you to get the easy way. I want to share with you what I learned the hard way so that you can now learn from my mistakes. Okay. And what was the hard way? The hard way was that hard lessons that I had to learn. I had to learn that not that one specific exercise that might be the latest thing on the market at the moment is not necessarily a fit for everybody. Not just one exercise is not necessarily going to work for every single person out there. Another hard lesson that I needed to learn was that exercise didn't necessarily have to be aggressive and strong and hard. And only once I've gone through a process like that will I be able to progress and grow stronger. I had to learn through the hard way, understand that there could be a softer, calmer approach that would give me the platform to actually slowly work at my pace, work with my body instead of against it, and actually even then still grow and progress. And then another hard lesson was that yoga wasn't only just meant for stretching. So having tried a million other things, trying things that could be too hard and too aggressive for my body, finally getting to yoga and realizing, okay, let me give this a try, and understanding, oh wow, it actually gave me so much more than just the generalization idea of I'm going to just be stretching and getting flexible. It gave me the option to actually build my muscle strength, build core, turn the body, and then so much more deeper effects that the yoga brought that I didn't even realize was possible. And then another hard lesson again through this whole process, all these ups and downs, was to understand that there isn't a quick fix. There is no program, no matter what it is, that's going to guarantee if you do this program for 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 10 weeks or 12 weeks, once you've done it, you're set and you're set for life and it's carved in stone, and thereafter you never have to do a day's work again in your life. So no program can guarantee that. And that was the realization and the hard lesson that I needed to learn. Even this Hatha Yoga program is not just a certain period of time and that's it. I had to understand it's not a quick fix process to heal my body, to strengthen my body, and have lasting effects, have lasting results. I needed to understand it is a daily practice. It's going to require daily discipline and daily persistence. Okay. So I'd learned that through the hard way. What was the easy way then? Is I want you to have the easy way. The three benefits, or the three major benefits that I realized again through this process, was number one, the overall toning and strengthening of the muscles in my body and my core. So that was the most obvious benefit that I gained. And I obviously had no core strength, no flexibility when I started. I was at the lowest of my low. But that was the first prominent benefit that I experienced, the overall toning and strengthening of the muscles in my body and core. But as soon as I started working at my pace and working within my boundaries, and I started gaining this benefit, the next one came, and it was the one built up onto the up on the other one. So the next one was the improving of my overall flexibility, but then also on a deeper level, improving of circulation and systems within my body. So gaining this, gaining the overall toning and strengthening of the muscles in my body and core, and overall flexibility, I was now slowly starting to work on a deeper level. So systems in my body, like the respiratory system, got stronger and was stimulated a lot more. The lymphatic system was allowed to drain a lot more because of the daily persistence and the daily routine, which helped to alleviate all the toxins and the inflammation in my body. And there were so many other things that now cleared up that I didn't even realize was related to my limiting lifestyle, which was due to the spinal injury. So endocrine system that was being balanced, digestive system that was being stimulated. So a whole lot of other systems that now got deeper effects from the Hatha Yoga routine. And then the knock-on effect from that, an overall improving of my general health. And not just that, I eventually also learned skills and techniques through the Hatha Yoga, which helped me to cope with my daily stresses and daily life. So that was the easy way. That was the results and the benefits that I gained through this process that I would like to share with you. So, yes, in the past, what was my picture like? In the past, I lived with chronic pain and discomfort because of my injury. I was on regular pain medication almost daily at times, because of just, it's easier to almost just take a pill to give me relief in this next hour or two so I can get through my day, almost to just start that process again in a day or two's time. So it was almost easier because of this limiting injury and how it affected my life. I couldn't even think that there was a space where I could actually become active and start exercising and grow the muscle stronger. So it was easier just to live with the pain, find the dysfunctional way of living with it, and use medication to cope through my day. And because of this, because of almost being in this rigid form, because I'm just trying to live around the pain and live around the injury, I was pushing myself, not understanding that my body had limits and boundaries and what they were and what my body's messages were to me and how to work safely within my boundaries. I was not trying out things that was not meant for me, that wasn't good for my body at that stage. And I ended up injuring myself even more. So I was literally progressing maybe one or two steps and then regressing 17 steps. It literally felt like that at times. So because of that, because of being in that dysfunctional space, I ended up requiring physical therapy once a month, every month for 6 years, without any visible improvement, without any lasting improvement and lasting results. So that led me to a space where I was advised by the specialists the only solution forward was major spinal surgery. And that was a big eye opener to me. So I needed to take and do something that would bring drastic change to my life. So, what are the changes that I experienced since I started the Hatha Yoga program 15 years ago? The obviously first most prominent benefit I gained and change that I experienced was the improved flexibility, improved core and muscle strength in my body. That led to a better range of movement and motion, and ultimately the deeper effects, the systems in my body that started working at optimal level because of the stimulation, because of the massage, and because of the uh, better range of improvement and circulation in the body. So musculoskeletal system functioning better, circulation, nerve supply, the lymphatic system draining better, the respiratory system being stimulated, digestion, getting the necessary massage to help digestion and processing of food in the body, the endocrine system being balanced a lot better. So experiencing all of this led to a higher and a better level of health. So since following this daily practice, I have now been living without chronic pain. I've no longer needed the medication to just get through my day. And I can actually go throughout weeks on ends. I do not need the pain medication on a regular basis anymore. And because of this, understanding my boundaries, my body's limits, the messages that my body's giving me, I no longer work in a place where I've got no understanding of myself and my range and limits. I understand what my boundaries are, I understand what my body is capable of, and I can actually grow stronger at my pace. So I'm no longer injuring myself any further. And because of this, I no longer need that physical therapy. So I haven't had a session in 15 years. How amazing is that? And needless to say, because of this whole process and the daily practice and the commitment that I've put in and slowly progressing at my pace, I haven't had the necessity of this major spinal surgery anymore. So it's brought a huge change in my life that's just been beneficial. Okay. So, yes, results aren't typical. This might not be the right fit for you, and you might not gain and achieve the same results as I did. Our bodies are different. Yes, our bodies have different injuries and they progress at different rates. This might not be the fit for you. There might be something else out there for you. But what we definitely want to show is it's not a quick fix. And if we work within our range, work with our body, not against it, there's definitely improvement that's possible. It's definitely not a quick fix. It's not an overnight success plan. You need to understand that it's a daily practice. It requires the commitment to yourself and to your health. It requires perseverance and discipline. Okay, but that's the point. If you are committed to yourself, if you've reached the point where you realize your health is important to you and you want to put the work in, understanding that it's a daily commitment, that daily commitment will no longer be a plan or a program, it'll become a lifestyle. And then you too will be able to achieve the same results I did. Okay, so I want to share with you the 3 secrets that I learned through this process. Secret number 1 is you do not have to be able to put your right foot behind your left ear to get results on this program. Definitely not. I wasn't flexible at all. I didn't have mobility. You don't need a pre-yoga class to start this yoga class. So, second secret, your ailments and your injuries will not prevent you from taking part. I was at the lowest of my lows, I would say -10 level. I didn't have the mobility and the flexibility to even start. I still had my injury. I really was at the worst phase in this injury. And I couldn't even comprehend how am I going to start an exercise program when I can hardly finish or do daily chores and tasks. Then my third secret, yoga has no age restriction. PG, all are welcome. How cool is that? The realization that I can start at any stage. There is no point where it is too late or I am too old or my injury is too far gone. There's always a good time for yoga, and that's now, to start right now. So whether you're 2 years old or whether you're 100, this is the best time to start. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper into the first secret. You do not have to be able to put your right foot behind your left ear to get results on this program. Okay, so when I started again, I had no mobility, I had no flexibility. Because of the spinal injury, I really had limited range of motion and I could hardly do basic tasks. At times I needed assistance just to get up from a chair and literally to go sit down, even to roll over in bed. I literally needed assistance. So I wasn't flexible. I couldn't do any of these things, but I needed to start somewhere. So one of my clients, just to share a little testimony, one of my clients, a lady, an accountant who is office bound all day. She's obviously seated behind a computer 90% of her day. She's never been the active type and she obviously doesn't have a specific injury, but she realized because of her lifestyle, she didn't have the flexibility, she didn't have the mobility and the range of motion. And she realized now because of this lifestyle, she started experiencing chronic back pain and how that affected her daily life. She's in her late 40s again, and it was that realization, I need to make a change now. I've gone too far in this process and in this lifestyle. So she started this program 2 years ago, and even though she had limited mobility and flexibility, she found that within this tailor-made program for her, within her limited mobility and flexibility and range, she could start a program that was tailor-made for her, and she could slowly build up and progress from there. So she's been going 2 years strong, and she too can vouch that she didn't have to be the flexible gymnast to be able to start taking part in this program. A second secret then is your ailments and injuries will not prevent you from taking part. So I still have the 4 vertebrae that are injured in my spine. The injury is still there. And when I started this program, obviously, I was at my lowest. I could hardly finish and complete basic daily chores and tasks. And yes, like most, I could not comprehend how am I going to exercise when I'm in this condition. So that's what I love about the Hatha Yoga program. It's a holistic approach that says, cool, let's see and look where you're at. What is your level? Whether you minus 20 or whether you plus 5, it doesn't matter what your level is at. What is your injury? What are your ailments? And how is that affecting and limiting your life? And how can we incorporate this, find a safe space for you to grow and build up? So when I work with my body and not against it, I'm not pushing past boundaries, I'm not hurting and placing parts of my body in compromising positions or places to get injured further, then we can progress slowly and work within our boundaries and get stronger and build up from there. So that's why I love the Hatha Yoga program. It gave me that whole holistic approach and the platform to be able to do this. Okay, so my third secret. My third secret is yoga has no age restriction. PG, all are welcome. So having experienced and gained the benefits from this program firsthand in the past 15 years, I almost regret not having started 30 years ago when I incurred my injury. But I obviously needed to go through this process and go through the journey to understand and find what yoga could do for me. So it has not just helped my body grow stronger, more flexible, more strong, core strength. And work on deeper levels on the systems in my body, bring about so many other health benefits. But it's also now taught me tools to deal and cope with daily stresses and our daily life. And now I realize that if I can start paying this forward and start teaching these tools and skills to kids at a young age, what an amazing path they'll have before them. So they will not have to go through the same route as I did. First, having a body that you think is healthy and strong, and then when you have that one major injury, you realize, oh my goodness, I didn't have it. And now I'm sitting with this injury that's completely changing my life. So if we can give these tools and start kids at a young age and help them foster a healthy habit and lifestyle, how strong and healthy will those bodies be when they grow into adults. So yet again, another testimony. One of my clients, Selena, 65-year-old retired therapist, she also found in her retirement becoming less and less active and not taking part in too many things, not as active as she was when she was a practicing physiotherapist. She now realized that she's losing that mobility and flexibility and range of motion, so that the slightest little twist in a knee actually is causing pain because of the lifestyle. So she started this program 4 years ago, and she enjoyed the environment that was allowing her the space to progress at her pace, at her level that was right for her, and she could slowly build up, strengthening her body, improving balance, improving core, and teaching her the tools and the skills to actually deal with the stresses and the demands of daily life. She's been going 4 years strong, and she's definitely not planning on finishing soon. So, in this past 25 minutes, would you agree that we've had quite an informative session? We've covered quite a few basic points in this training. So I want to take this opportunity and give you the special offer. If we act fast, we'll be able to put a package together for you and take it further. So yes, old habits die hard. Yes, our daily life and routine might be limited because of our health, and we might not be able to see how can we even take part in this program when this habit or injury is actually limiting my lifestyle, and how am I going to progress when I'm living in this constant pain. And it's much easier to almost at times just grab for the meds, just grab for the pills so I can get through the rest of the couple of hours of the remainder of the day, instead of comprehending that I need to bring a definite change in my life that's going to bring in a different lifestyle instead of just relieving the symptoms in the moment. Okay, so like me, you might have also tried different avenues, different regimes that might not have worked for you, that might not have given you the lasting improvements and results that you were looking for. And like most, we start out great. We want to have all the best intentions and start a new program. And somewhere along the line, we realize, oh, but I'm allowing one little old habit. And it's okay, it's just once. And before I know it, I've allowed it 3 or 4 times. And after a while, I'm actually right back where I started, again, with no results, with no improvement, and literally having to start from day one again. But this is what I want to show you. I want to show you there's a routine available here that incorporates the holistic approach. It looks at your level, whatever it is, the lowest of the low that you're in right now. What is your range? What is your body's capabilities and limits? What are your injury and ailments, and how is that affecting your life? And that within this, there is a program out there that can allow you to start at your lowest, work with your body, honor those boundaries, and slowly build up and progress. And the moment you get stronger, we get to the next level, we honor and build up from there. And it's like that, we grow and grow stronger from one level to the next. Okay. So that's why we get to this point. I want to help you. This 12-step Hatha Yoga program is not meant for everybody. Not everyone's going to have the commitment and the dedication and the motivation to start this, to see it through and continue. So this is why I sell this directly. You cannot find this on any other website. I only work with customers who are really committed. And that's why I do an application process where we go on a call and we ascertain whether this is the perfect fit for you. And also what it is that you are looking for out of this program, so that we can now go on a call, get together and see what is the best path to get to that point and that result that you're looking for. So this isn't something that I offer often. It's only available for a short period of time because I want to help people. I want you to do this so that you are in the right position to gain the benefits that I gain through this process. Okay, so this is why I'm offering you a free one-on-one call. I generally charge for these consultations, but because you've watched all the way to the end, that shows me that you are committed, that you are really looking for a solution, and that you think this Hatha Yoga program can be that solution for you. I want to find out with you whether this is the best fit for you, and there mustn't be any doubt in your mind whether that is. Then you mustn't be thinking, I'm going to try it for a week and then see, and whatever, if it doesn't work out, it's okay. I want you to be completely sure, and that's why I want to speak to you one-on-one so we can go and iron out together any doubts, any fears, and start from there. So I want you to go and book a call right now. Go all the way to the end. You'll see a link at the bottom. It'll take you to an application form. Fill it out, book your call. Don't worry about the questions too much. It's just going to give me an idea and a picture of where you're at, where you've started, where you are in your journey, and how we're going to progress from there to gain the results that you're looking for. So go ahead, book the call. I'm looking forward to chatting with you. Remember, the motivation why you are doing this, it is the strongest now than it will ever be. So let's not let that slip. Let's achieve what you are looking for together. So I want to work with you. I want to make sure that you get the results that you are looking for. I have gotten results for myself, so I know that it is possible. I've gotten results for other people, and I'm 100% sure and I believe that it can work for you. So go ahead, book the call, complete the application, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the call.